Don't forget to grab yourself a LUMIOSE Trainer Zack or Let's Go Greninja shirt to help support and celebrate the channel. Link is in the description. What's up, LUMIOSE Trainers? LUMIOSE Trainer Zack here. One of the coolest additions to Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon was the Rainbow Rocket storyline. This was a post-game event where Giovanni returns along with all the other evil team leaders from the past Pokémon games. It was awesome. But have you ever wondered how this will be translated into the anime? So far, the anime has interpreted every single evil team introduced in the games. And since Team Rocket has been in every single series since the very beginning, it wouldn't be too big of a stretch to assume that Rainbow Rocket could appear as well. That's why, in this video, I'll be going over my predictions for Team Rainbow Rocket in the anime. Before I get to how I think it's gonna go, why don't we start off by going over some evidence on why I think this will happen. Now we know every single Pokemon series has had Team Rocket in it thanks to its main trio of Jessie, James, and Meowth. But just because they're up to their usual shenanigans doesn't mean that the entire team as a whole plays a big part in the series. For example, Team Rocket as an entire team didn't do much during Hoenn, Sinnoh, or Karlos. They did, however, play a big role in Canto and Johto during the original series, and then in Unova surprisingly. The black and white anime was the first time in a very long time where Team Rocket actually became relevant again. No longer was it just about catching Pikachu, as Giovanni had a special mission for Jessie, James, and Meowth. This was all building towards a big Team Rocket plot that we got later in the series. I thought this was really cool because we got to see Giovanni in action again. Team Rocket is the only evil team in the anime that doesn't disband after Ash and his friends defeat them. Instead, they just retreat until they come up with their next big scheme. After Team Rocket's big comeback in black and white, it got me wondering on what their next big move will be. Although the organization was pretty dormant during X and Y, what's really interesting is how they're slowly becoming active again in Sun and Moon. This could be a hint that they're planning something big for the future. You see, in X and Y, Jessie, James, and Meowth go to Karlos because they're after Pikachu. You know, the usual. But Sun and Moon is different. They arrive in Alola just like Ash, but they didn't know that he was gonna be there. Instead, just like in Black and White, they were sent to this new region by Giovanni. So that should tell you right off the bat that something sinister must be in the works. Now notice, the Sun and Moon series has been showing Jessie and James getting contacted by the headquarters a lot more often than in other series. Giovanni and his assistant constantly request updates on their status in Alola. At first glance, it might seem like no big deal, cause it's just business as usual for them. But think about it, in every region, Team Rocket would rarely talk to Giovanni, the only exceptions being Unova and Canto. Most of the time, they would just do their own thing, and would only get that rare call from him when it's about another evil team. For example, in X and Y, you barely hear from Giovanni, until in XYZ when Team Flare appears. But in Alola, Giovanni seems to be constantly checking up on them, just like in Unova. And although it seems like the trio has been goofing off like in every other region, if you take a closer look, they've actually been progressing quite a bit this time around. Not only has Team Rocket gotten their hands on the Dark-type Z Crystal, but they also got themselves an actual secret lair, something they've been trying to do since Hoenn but could never fully accomplish. They even defeated Ash in battle, got a Z-Ring, got another Z Crystal which is the one for Mimikyu, and inadvertently send an Alolan Meowth to the main Team Rocket headquarters. So yeah, they've done a lot. And speaking of headquarters, that brings me to my next big point. As we all know, in the episode Alola Canto, Ash and his Alola friends go to the Canto region for a bit. But it wasn't just them. Team Rocket returned to Canto as well. The reason for them being in Canto again wasn't to capture Pikachu though, but instead it was because Giovanni's assistant ordered them to come back for some kind of important meeting. We never find out what that meeting was about though, since Beware shows up before they could even get there and took them back to Alola. What I believe is that Giovanni was going to talk to them about their newest plan, Team Rainbow Rocket. But since they missed out on that meeting, Jessie, James, and Meowth probably won't get involved until the plan actually begins. Now this meeting might not have directly mentioned the whole Rainbow Rocket plan, but it could have been the very beginnings of it. Here's something else I should mention. I already said how Jessie, James, and Meowth have had a lot more progress this time and have been in contact with headquarters more frequently, right? But an even greater hint that something big is happening comes from Giovanni himself. During the episode Why Not Give Me a Z-Ring Sometime, Giovanni orders the trio to go meet Nanu, cause he knows they can get a Z-Ring from him. Apparently, Nanu and Giovanni go way back. Whoa, hold the phone. Wait, I said hold the phone! This is actually some pretty interesting information. Although Nano's a police officer now, it's pretty safe to assume that he had a much darker and sinister past. I mean, he's the dark type Kahuna after all. In fact, in the Sun and Moon games, it's implied that Nanu is the one who started Team Skull many years ago. So it makes perfect sense for Giovanni to have been buddy-buddy with this guy before. This actually might even explain how Giovanni knows about Alola in the first place. Well, it seems like Giovanni wants to learn even more about the region, cause in the episode Tough Guy Trials, he calls Nanu to ask him about the Blinding One, which we now know is Necrozma. He's so into Necrozma that he even sends a special task force to Alola to catch it. You see, yet another hint that Team Rocket is planning something big. Aside from that one Sinnoh episode with Cassidy and Botch, we don't really see other Team Rocket members go to other regions unless it's something big. So Giovanni sending a special group to catch Necrozma is a big deal. Now it could be that he wanted to catch it just to have a strong legendary, you know, like a basic evil villain who wants world domination would. But I think his plan goes much deeper than that. Now notice, it wasn't a gigantic surprise that Necrozma was traveling through the Ultra Wormhole. In fact, the whole reason they knew how to find it was because they knew that it would come out of one. So that can only mean that Giovanni already had knowledge about the Ultra Wormholes. He probably got it from Jesse, Gems, and Meowth, who have seen it firsthand and have some time working at the Aether Foundation. So if he, I don't know, decided to come up with a plan to bring together a bunch of evil team leaders from other universes, he will need the help of Necrozma, who has the power to create Ultra Wormholes. Obviously, Team Rocket fails thanks to Professor Kukui and Tapu Koko, which was badass by the way. So this delayed their plans a bit, but I still think Rainbow Rocket will happen. Remember, Team Rocket had some time working undercover at Aether Paradise, so maybe they'll find the information to create Ultra Wormholes without Necrozma. We already see Faba doing it when the Ultra Guardians want to send an Ultra Beast back to their world, so all it takes is for that technology to fall into the wrong hands and boom, we've got a problem. Now when do I think a Rainbow Rocket arc could happen? Before Ash's battle with Hapu? Before or after the Alola League? Well, to be honest, it doesn't really matter when these events will happen, cause the Rainbow Rocket arc will be a movie. That's right, I think the anime adaptation will be a movie, and here's why. First of all, I don't think having Rainbow Rocket as a major anime arc could work. I mean, I guess they could make it work, but it won't happen. The Rainbow Rocket episode brings back every evil team leader from past generations of Pokemon. The problem with doing that in the anime is that the Sun and Moon series only goes out of its way to make references to Gen 1 and Gen 1 alone. This is cause of Pokemon's 20th anniversary, as well as Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. So if the anime wants to do Rainbow Rocket, a movie is a better way to go, since it'll have a self-contained story that will have a lot more liberty when it comes to bringing back other characters that aren't from Canto. Also, take this into account. The past two Generation 7 movies have been taking place in the non-canon I Choose You timeline. We still don't have any movies that take place in Alola. Well, Rainbow Rocket could be the true Alola movie we've been waiting for. In fact, it's time we look at the final evidence of why I think we could get a Rainbow Rocket movie. So as we know, in Japan, at the end of each new Pokemon movie, we get a teaser for the one that will come next year. Well, at the end of The Power of Us. Actually, I like that name, it works. We got a teaser for the new 2019 movie. Pokemon the movie, Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution. That's right, Mewtwo will be the main focus of next year's movie. This could just be the retelling of the first movie, same as how I Choose You was a retelling of Ash's journey through Canto, but I have a better idea. This could be the Rainbow Rocket movie. Think about it, look at the name, Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution. What does that tell you? That it won't just be any Mewtwo in the movie, but Mega Mewtwo. And guess who uses Mega Mewtwo during the Rainbow Rocket episode? Giovanni. It makes perfect sense. We already had Mega Mewtwo Y be the focus of the Genesect movie, so this time it could be Mega Mewtwo X, who, mind you, hasn't had a prominent role in the anime yet. So there you have it, my reasons for why I think Rainbow Rocket will happen in the anime. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong, but you've gotta admit, getting Rainbow Rocket in the anime would be a really cool idea. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe to become a LUMIOSE trainer today. Also, follow me on Twitter to find out what's up and what's new. Last but not least, make sure to live your life to the fullest, and I'll see you all next time. If you want some more Pokemon anime goodness, then head over to Entity Maze's channel, where I make a guest appearance in his latest Pokemon anime trivia episode. What is a Pokemon Master? I'll see you all there.